Alrighty guys, we got the cook video. We have the stove, the pan, the brand new hood, the new warming pan. We're set to cook. Let's get this show on the road for you. Okay, first, let's start with the stove. It's just a fuel oil tank for like a fuel furnace. Took it, chopped the top off of it, put a flat surface on there for the pan to sit on. It's 24 inches wide for the pan to sit on. This front of the stove, this thin plate you can see, that's the plate we actually cut out of that hole. Then we just took some flat stock and tacked it together, put some hinges on it, took some more flat stock, bent it, made a handle. Inside, we just have normal red brick. It's not fire rated, but it's been holding up surprisingly well. A couple years ago, we had a old furnace come through, so I took some of the furnace parts and chopped them up, made an air vent in the back of it, and the fan blows down that into the back of the stove, and it comes around and comes out there. And then we also have a small clean out here that always stays open. This grate is, I believe, the second or third grate I've had in here. This grate has lasted the longest. For a long time we were using like these cheap casted grates that they didn't last long. But this is stainless steel. I had a chance to get my hands on that, so I got that. The bricks are stacked clear back to the back of this metal box that has the holes in it. Now onto the pan. This pan is 2 feet across, 4 feet long. It has separators in it. These are, I believe, 18 inches apart. And then we have a 1 foot box back here. And then this is where we put all our cold. I have the warming pan that sits up here. And then it drains in here. And then it works its way up to the front. This hood is 2 foot by 3 foot. Now that I have it made, I think I should have figured out a way to cover this one too, or something, but hindsight 2020. The top of that is 8 inches. Got a drain pipe here. It's got a little edge right there, so if anything cools on the top of it, it'll run down and get caught in this edge, and then it'll run up to this corner and then drain down. And I put that bucket under it and it just catches it. Alrighty, I think that's probably enough about the stove and pan setup. If you have any questions, put them in the comment. I'll definitely answer them. Well, now that we have the pan talk over with, we have sap clear up to here. You can see it right there, that line. But about half of that will fit in the pan. And hopefully it's not running hard enough I can't get caught up today. I couldn't get caught up yesterday. I got down to the 100 mark, and by the time I was ready for another couple buckets, it was back up above the 100, and then it drained down to 100, and then backing up. It was not amusing. Alright, so let's get this pan loaded up and get the stove started. Alright, we got the pan full. Next step, build a fire. Got it loaded. Now to use the propane lighter. And now we wait. Did I mention we built this stove on the super cheap? The pan is not sealed onto the stove. So all this stuff you see back here, yep, that's smoke rolling out the back of it instead of going up the chimney. It gets much better once it gets warm, but getting it warm, well, that can be fun. Some questions you might have. Does he really have that sugar shack and a horse trailer? Well, it's a stock trailer. But yes, I do. Because it was here. So we used it. We've used this trailer for roughly 7 years. The only real new additions that we've had recently is the steam pipe and the hood. The chimney was there, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. Dad got tired of the wind blowing through it, so he threw some sheet metal on the sides, some insulation. We still have the back open because up until this year, see that fan in there, right there? Oop, finger. Stop focusing on my finger. The fan. Well, we used to run that on high, and that would blow all the steam out here. So now, I use the fan here to blow the smoke out, because, I don't know, someday we'll go through and seal it up. Maybe. I mean, it's only been 7 years that we've dealt with this, so what's 7 more, right? Alrighty, we got the fire going. Let's get this closed up. Now we wait for the water to boil. Yay for water boiling! Another great advantage of having it in a trailer, the jack. You can raise and lower the front end, making it easier to drain the pan when it's time to drain it. Another advantage of it being in a trailer, this isn't the first place we've had it. This is spot number 3, and it's by far the best because it's right beside the sap. If you're cooking and you get foam, and a little bit back here, back in that corner, a little in that corner, simple fix for it is a defoamer. Just put a few drops in and you should be good for the rest of your cook. No more foam. The foam keeps the steam from releasing, so you have a shorter cook time. You might ask yourself, okay, so now that you have the pan full and the fire's going, now what? Well, you have a few options. You can watch the water boil, but if you have a stove like mine, it gets a little warm down here. Oh, I forgot to mention these. The pan sits about a foot above the stove, and for years we didn't have anything on the side of the pan, so all the heat that was coming out of the side of the stove was just dissipating into the openness around the trailer. So Dad took some pieces of metal, folded them down the side, and now it catches the heat that comes out and keeps it on the edge of the pan. That's where a lot of the smoke that I was showing you earlier was coming from. Back here, it's open right here, and it just comes out. Right there, actually, you can see some venting out. Yay for steam! Bye-bye, water! Another great option is the radio. Another thing you may want to do is look at the weather. Is it gonna rain? Do you need to bring wood in so it stays dry so you can have dry wood for your fire? I'm gonna have rain. I better bring some wood in. But it doesn't matter what you really do, because this warming pan and that firebox need to be fed about every 15 minutes, so you don't have a lot of time to do much. Alrighty, now that we have some done from the big pan, we have it down here in this other pan on a turkey fryer. We like the turkey fryer because we can turn it up or down, and it has the high BTUs to not have to waste a lot of time to get it up to temperature, to hold the temperature, or anything like that. Okay, you got your pan of finish here. You're cooking it down. It's starting to smell really good. But the trick is to not have it too hot. Low boil. Too much heat. Hopefully you can see it through the steam. See those bubbles get bigger? More fill in the pan. When you get close, you have to watch that, because it'll blow right up out of the pan. And if you're cooking in the house or something, even on a deep fryer, I just had a little bit blow up on me. Got it all over the place. So that's just something to watch for when you're cooking it down. It's not something you have to worry about when you're just starting out. This is pretty much finished. This is pretty close. Now when you're finishing syrup, how do you know it's done? Well, there's two different ways. With a candy thermometer, you can test it. The finish temperature for syrup is 7 degrees hotter than the boiling temperature of water. So the temperature you're looking for is 219. Now the other way to know, this is a hydrometer. It goes with this metal thermos. You fill the thermos full of the maple syrup, and then you put the hydrometer in there, and this first red line is where it'll float at if it's finished boiling, and the second red line is where it'll finish at 60 degrees temperature. And there you have it, another finished batch. Look at all that steam. Alrighty guys, that's it for this video. Getting the stove shut down. Got a couple gallons made. I've been at it for 11 hours. Got a couple more videos planned for maple syrup. If there's something you'd like to see, put it down in the comments. I'll try to put it in there. Get some more helpful videos out there for you guys to be able to figure out what you're doing for yourselves. Thanks for stopping by, and remember to subscribe. See ya!